What does it mean to be the strongest, right? I think we all know as manga readers and anime watchers that, I mean, if he can't be Goku, he's trash, and that story is probably garbage too, right? But I want to like dive into more of a conceptual, like the core of what being the strongest is, and I'm gonna be using Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen and Rengoku from Demon Slayer because I feel like these are excellent examples and of what it means to truly be the strongest. Because to me, it's not it's not about like who's the biggest, strongest, most powerful guy that's shooting out the biggest, most powerful blasts and killing like the most people on the planet ever and never loses and has everything under control all the time and like nothing ever bad happens to him. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about accepting is I'm talking about like it being a lifestyle choice that you choose that every single second of the day you are choosing to fully accept this title regardless of rewards or being blessed with a certain ability or literally any of that. A conscious choice regardless of the results or outcomes of that. That's what I think being the strongest is. And I get it. That may be an insane ass, right? That's a burden that will weigh you down. And because I brought up Gojo and Rengoku, they have perfect parallels to this. As in Rengoku, his dad, who was born, well, not born, but became a flame Hashira, and he ended up letting the events that happened to him, his wife dying, figuring out that his ability is just a cheap knockoff of sun breathing, which is the pinnacle of the demon slayer world. And when his wife died, in between him putting everything that like every second of all of his days to train to get stronger, to find out that his ability just some like cheap knockoff. And with Geto, Gojo's best friend, them also like claiming like Gojo's always saying like, hey, we're the strongest, right? We're the strongest, right? We can always handle anything. And them going through that arc where they are trying to convert the vessel and that entire mission just blowing up in their face, right? Both of these, Geto and Rengoku's dad facing these traumas after like putting their entire lives into being these titles, right? Being a curse sorcerer, being a Hashira, being these pinnacles of these people that's supposed to protect everyone, and not being able to, losing really close people to them, and then looking at something that resembles the strongest, right? And letting that bitterness pile up in them where they end up kind of just taking it out on everyone else, or they continue to do this responsibility that they uptook or were born into, end up just kind of like killing the vibes, honestly. You can tell they're depressed, they're losing weight. Rengoku's dad succumbs to alcoholism and completely neglects his kids. Geto eating these curses and building up a outrageous hatred towards humans. Like they're still doing their jobs, but eventually guess what happens? Rengoku's dad, he ends up retiring and just like he completely is employed by Evan Williams. And then with Geto, he ends up just massacring a bunch of humans and he wants to wipe them completely off the face of the earth, right? No longer being a curse sorcerer. But you can understand, like no one's shocked that this happened because this is a crazy burden to put on someone. This is a lot of hard work and an obligation when you have like legitimate reasons to feel a certain way about this and to be better. But yes, this is a very high ceiling or a high standard. No, I would say like a baseline for being the strongest, right? But I think that's kind of the point. It is something that is supposed to be extremely hard. And that's why you can go to Gojo and Rengoku for this. It's not that they're like different people. Rengoku goes through the same trauma as his dad. He lost his fucking mom. Right? He also has the same ability as his dad that he was also not completely fulfilled with. Gojo, right? He's the strongest. He also got pieced up. That was a bad day for him too. But the way they handle these things, Gojo continues to expound on his curse technique He keeps going. He gets stronger. He realizes that, like, damn, I wasn't really locked in. I need to lock in some more. Rengoku, even going through that trauma with his dad, and even his dad putting more trauma on him. Is, oh yeah, that's the thing. Geto and Rengoku's dad put more stress on Gojo and Rengoku, and they still handle it better than they did. Right? Rengoku, yeah, again, having like the same power as his dad, and using that and taking that same work ethic with a smile on his face to encourage people and not lose any more human lives that are necessary. Because when his dad retired, that's one less powerful person on the team. That's these demons are outrageously strong, and these these curses are super strong. Like, if you just quit, then there's more shit for the other people to deal with. But both Gojo and Rengoku choose to handle this completely different. I would say their confidence was built on L's, not W's. Gojo uses his strength, even though he could have done what Geto did and created an army to wipe out the human race. Well, and Rengoku could have just like never became a Hashira. He didn't have to. His dad didn't even fucking want him to, but he chose to anyways, to protect the next generation of people and be an asset to the side that they thought were good, which objectively they were. They used that positive energy, and they didn't. And I would say if they let the stress of the job title and the power they were blessed with get to them, the stories their stories, and I would say the story of the entire universe, would have been completely different. Like, it's stressful to be labeled with the title of the strongest or a pillar or like the go-to person, but it's a responsibility if you're in there, if you're blessed to be there, in that person that people look up to uphold it without letting that bitterness build up in you and eventually taking it out on other people. Our biggest point on this is to be the strongest, right? Is to have God levels of emotional regulation. And it's not, when I say emotional regulation, I'm not talking about, hey man, you have to be calm at all times and fucking just happy-go-lucky all the time, which I would say Rengoku and Gojo do this perfectly. They always have this aura and this energy field of like positivity, right? It's about looking at what's on the board and finding a course of action and accepting and having follow through with the path. Like, Rengoku's dad and Geto chose to lash out against the system, where Gojo and Rengoku decide to integrate themselves in the system and build on it, make it a better environment. And they kind of give like a master class, right, in their last battles, right? They lose those battles. They do. They lose those battles, but the entire time you think they have the entire situation handled. And I would say the end results of both of those, when Gojo goes against Sukuna, not for 1 second did Gojo believe he was going to lose. And I don't think that Gojo thought 100% he was going to win. I don't think that. Because you got to think about it, right? He's going to this fight with Sukuna. Sukuna's like, he's a fucking world-ending threat. But Gojo's the guy everyone always relies on. You can imagine him going, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. It's like a 50-50 chance. I don't know. Like, no one wants to fucking hear that. Because you got to think about it. He let them continue their plan. Like, if he was like, 100% sure, he would have just told them, like, hey, bro, really, please don't waste your time. He would have probably actively tried to force them to just, like, stop. You're being silly. I'm going to go eat a sandwich. Come back. All right. I'm going to just go Sukuna real fast. That's not what he did. Right. But to be the strongest, you have to let the people that's behind you know that everything's going to be okay, even if it's not. But you have to have faith in the ability of how you move every day, even when no one's watching, to be making the right moves into the right direction to protect your loved ones. Rengoku, same thing, right? He, you give him some fucking food, he's gonna act like it's the fucking best thing he ever ate in his entire life. He doesn't have to do all of that. He's a Hashira. He's here to kill demons. He goes against the upper rank, right? I thought he was gonna fucking win, and he doesn't. But you gotta look at the end results of both of those, right? Gojo and Rengoku, they both go through these situations calm, in a stable frame of mind, with a route to victory, and they believe in it. And even if they don't have time to think about like, oh, if I had this, or if I just need this, they're not thinking about that. They're trying to make sure that they don't transfer their stress to the people that believe in them. They both fights, Rengoku and Gojo, right? They just, like, the people around them feel like they can't even like enter the fight to help them, but their attitude towards the fights encourage they kind of like adds to the fact that like maybe we shouldn't jump in. They got it. It's like, it's Rengoku. Like when the other Hashiras find out that Rengoku died, they were in complete shock. Even though out of all the Hashiras, I don't even know if Rengoku breaks the top 3 or top 5. But that's because of his attitude and how he conducts himself. No, everyone was like, whoa, there's no fucking way. But the end results of both of those fights, Rengoku, no one on the train dies. None of the other demon slayers die. With Gojo, none of his students die. Everyone lives. And they win. Everyone win. Like, yeah, they lost, but their team won. To be the strongest is to create a community and a standard that you're the guy. I'm not bitter about being the guy. I'm okay with being the guy. I'm the strongest. I take pride in that, and I got you. And this energy is contagious. It affects everyone around you. It affects the generation behind you too, to follow that standard. That is an amazing standard to be behind. So being the strongest isn't about the amount of raw power and beating every single person that comes before you. It's about making the right choices every second of every day, no matter the reward or the life you were born into. It doesn't matter. It's about doing what's right for yourself and the people behind you. It's about protecting people without becoming bitter, caring for others without destroying yourself, and refusing to turn the pain of that title to poison your heart.